Everyone can be a leader, and when the going gets tough, you can be that person to help everyone get to the path that will benefit the whole group. For me, I wish that these tips would have been given to me way before, so I would have learned long ago how to be someone that helps in a hard situation, and also to give people a purpose, a vision to go forward into a common goal. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the top 5 things on how to improve your leadership skills. And I'm always coming up with videos like this one, so if you're interested in entrepreneurship or motivational videos, make sure to give a like and subscribe. And make sure to check out the bonus tip near the end of the video to help you to get confident in any situation if you're struggling with confidence as a leader. Impart a vision. Now, I wish somebody would have told me this a long time ago, because as a founder of the marketing agency Emerald Sky, I never really put into thought what could be the vision of my company. And at the beginning, I just focused on getting more clients and getting exposure, but there has to be a vision. There has to be somebody that imparts this vision constantly, that gives this vision every day. This is one day I want to be over there. We're here, but I want to be over there. And people might say, how are we going to do it? I don't care, we're going to make it. Simple as that. And just constantly checking, how are we doing on that? Are we there yet? What do we need to get there? Remember, everybody, the reason why we're doing this is because we're trying to get to that point. So you need to come up with a vision that inspires people. If you're having difficulty explaining it, maybe revise it, but give a vision. Impart why you want to do this. Impart why everybody should listen to you, why everybody should be motivated and put effort into what you're talking about. Because yes, people work for a living and they earn money and they're okay with that. But if you give them a vision, if you tell them, we're going to make it, we're going to create this amazing thing, and we're going to become the next whatever, and you do it with such conviction that they say, wow, this person is really into that. I believe that we're gonna do what he says or she says, and I'm gonna give it 150%. For example, Steve Jobs would say, Microsoft has this amazing feature on their computer. We need to have it 1 billion times better than that. And they would say, how are we gonna do that? I don't know, but figure it out. And then he would come again and say, how are we with that? Well, it's still impossible. Well, figure it out. Remember, we gotta beat Microsoft on that thing I told you. How are we coming up with that thing? We need to be better. We can do this. What are we missing? And this relentless motivation, relentless visionary encouragement just propelled people. And they would say, you know what? This is impossible. It's not what I learned in school, and it's not even feasible. But somehow, yes, let's do it. Let's figure it out. Let's figure out how do we do it? And they would come up with it. In fact, this is what Steve Jobs would say. Someone needs to have a vision and needs to remind everyone of the vision and keep continuing to speak about this vision. That is what a good leader does. Forget about yourself. There's an amazing book called Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek, which talks about how a leader should be someone that thinks about himself last. Now, this might be contrary to what many people feel, because they say, well, isn't a leader supposed to think about himself and how he can better his goals and make people do what he wants? No, that's a terrible leader. What do my people need? What is missing? How can I make them feel better? How can I provide them the tools that they need? How can I make them feel welcome? How can I make them feel that I make effort that they do? That it's not just me, sitting at home and watching Netflix all day. If you want people to follow you, you need to be that person that people say, he really cares about me. He really cares about our team. He really cares about improving my quality of life, improving my happiness, and I'm gonna follow this person. So if you're constantly looking at yourself, you need to turn that around, and you gotta say, what can I be doing for that person? What can I be doing for that person? How can I take care of them? That's gonna be really something that's gonna come down and inspire people to follow you. If they know that if they follow you, they will be taken care of. So like the book says, so pretending that your troops out in the desert and they bring food, you gotta be that person that waits until everybody gets their food and then you eat. If it's even possible. That's the sign of a great leader, that you forget about yourself and you care about your team. A sign of a good leader is that he keeps learning every single day. He doesn't stop learning. In fact, there's even leaders that say if you stop learning, you stop being a leader, because everything changes. Every day is a new situation. Every day you'll encounter something that you don't expect. So a great leader is always reading. He's always trying to find topics that he doesn't understand. He's always watching videos. He's always putting himself in experiences that will help him grow and enrich his life. This is something that I've tried to do. For example, I'm reading a book about economics. I'm reading the book of Art of War by Sun Tzu for leadership skills. I'm reading about a French philanthropist to keep honing on my French vocabulary. And I'm doing this for the simple purpose because I need to get better at these skills. So if you look at the most groundbreaking people that have changed the world, they have always read. They've always kept learning. And in fact, they've said that even people who are old in age, if they keep learning, especially languages, and I've got a video about that, it actually helps counter dementia and keeps your brain active. So make sure to keep learning, especially what you're not good at, to become a more effective leader every single day. Lead yourself. And I know we mentioned that you should forget about yourself, but in this case, you should lead yourself. And what do I mean by that is, for example, there's a great video out there about a Navy SEAL commander who explains that the best thing that you can do is to make your bed every single day when you wake up. I won't tell you all the details as to why, but the main point that he said was that because it makes you accomplish a task that day. And this is a small aspect, because as a leader, you want to control yourself. You want to have control of your body, of your mind. You want to be able to lead yourself into good things, healthy things. You need to command your own being. Be organized, be disciplined, be punctual, be hard on yourself, gentle to others, but hard on yourself. Then be assured you'll be able to lead people. And then finally, praise your team's success. Any little victory that they can have, give it to them. In fact, there are studies that people get motivated more by praise than by money. Of course, the norm today is, oh, you want them to work more, you want them to be more happy and work more, give them more money. They do an amazing job, give them a raise. And yeah, that's good. Of course, you should do that if they do a good job. But the same part of the brain that feels that burst of joy when you praise that person, when you make them feel you did a great job, excellent work, when you lift them up in a meeting, hey, you know, this is because of this person, because they figured it out, not me. And in fact, if you tell somebody that they're going to do an incredible job in whatever it is that you're working on, guess what? They're going to do it. Exactly. You're going to live to that expectation. That's a study that has found that people that you give good expectations about, they actually will work harder to fulfill that expectation about themselves. So if you say, I know this is hard, but you come up with the best ideas and I'm confident that you're gonna figure this out. Imagine how that person's gonna feel. They're gonna feel really good and they're gonna work really hard to figure out what the problem is and get it done. And then feel amazing when it gets finished. And give them encouragement so that they can be the best that they can be. And then for a bonus tip on how to become confident in any situation. This is an amazing tip that I learned recently from a great leader. If you're gonna be doing a presentation, if you're gonna be doing a video, if you're gonna be speaking at some kind of conference, if you're gonna be talking about your school's project and you feel that your legs are shaking, that your words are starting to mumble, that you're getting super anxious and start sweating, the best thing that you can do is separate yourself in a peaceful place and just start remembering about a time when you were confident, when every single joke that you were saying was hilarious, when you were just saying everything perfectly, when people were just saying, wow, a moment where maybe they clapped at you, a moment when you were amongst an awesome group of people that just said, wow, this is great, and you felt at your top. What I want you to do is to go to that time, to put yourself in that situation where when you're again in that place, speaking about that thing, smiling, being funny, being confident, being impressive. If nothing comes out the top of your mind, don't worry. Think about somebody that you perceive as being very confident. So now that you have that thought of, wow, I'm in this place, I'm being really confident, everybody's liking what I'm saying, every single joke is hitting the mark, put yourself there and start saying to yourself, wow, and start thinking to yourself, what exactly is it that's making me so confident at this time? What was the one thing that was causing this to happen? For example, for me, I can remember I was in college, I was giving a presentation, and everything that I was saying was coming out so naturally, and it was funny, and I loved feeling that way. Even after the presentation, somebody came up to me and said, wow, great presentation. And I thought, wow, that was so easy. So every time now that I come to a situation, like for example, this video, I think about that time and I say, it's because I let myself go and I simply spoke about the topic in the best way that I could. And then let myself come out and then let the words flow. So thinking about a specific thing that made you really confident and reliving that moment in your mind and figuring out what made you so confident is gonna uplift you. It's gonna make you feel, yes, if I could do it then, I can definitely do it now. And you're gonna feel uplifted and confident immediately because confidence is already in you. It just needs to be brought out. So to recap on everything we saw on how to improve your leadership skills is, we saw that you need to impart a vision, forget about yourself, keep learning, lead yourself, and finally, praise your team's success. So I wish you the most success for your leadership path. And if you're looking on ways on how to communicate better as a leader and in general, check out the video that I did last week on how to communicate better. I'll put the link on the top here. And thank you so much for watching this video. I'd really like to know how are you improving your leadership skills? What are things that you have found that maybe are not in this video that have helped you to improve your leadership skills? Leave me a comment below. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with somebody three that you think will benefit from it. Looking forward to seeing you again, and have an excellent day. Ciao, ciao.